I would love your perspective, Barbara. I feel like God threw trillions of splinters of himself out there to get to know himself better and to have fun, to have somebody to create and play with. And now we're at this place where we can open to co-create with
I'm very proud of something that recently happened. There's a beautiful author called Ilia Delio. She's a Catholic nun who's written a book called Making All Things New. And here's what she said about me. Now, this is just amazing, and I'll tell you what I think it means, because she called me and others Christic fractals. But she says here, what are we called up today as citizens of the universe, as followers of Jesus Christ and members of the institutional church, which I'm not, and she's a Catholic? The final chapter seeks to clarify the meaning of Catholicity, which she calls wholeness. That's the deeper meaning of Catholic is wholeness. And she says, of the four models discussed in this chapter of bringing forward the entire Catholicity of the Church is Pope Francis, Barbara Marx Hubbard, the Dalai Lama, and the Leadership Conference of Women Religious.
Wow.
Now, when I read that, I was really, I would say more than amazed, but I have interpreted, and she says this here at the end, that Barbara is an example of a Christic fractal. Now, a Christic fractal is a little tiny fragment of the Christ consciousness. And I would say millions of us are Christic fractals. And when she singled me out there with Pope Francis and the Dalai Lama, the Barbara Marx Hubbard is not me as a person. It's a movement. I'm an aspect of a movement of humanity towards higher consciousness, greater freedom, and more complex order in an evolutionary world.
Yes. I want to be one.
I think you are one. You see, you are a Christic fractal in an evolutionary world.
Oh, I just love this so much. I'm awash in goosebumps. What an incredible honor. And it's sort of like what I'm getting, Barbara. Who we are really isn't personal to us anymore. When we transcend that ego, when we step more into that like universal aspect. Well, from my perspective, I've devoted myself to that something greater. May thy will and my will be one. I want to surrender my personal will to that something greater. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
It is. And I am so delighted to be talking with you because, you see, you are definitely a Christic fractal.
Oh, yay. I just had a bunch of crystals hung up in my light fixture. I have crystals all over. People are like, you are a crystal. And I feel like I'm a fairy in a strange land. But somebody said, well, this world needs more sparkles and crystals and purple.